Hello, beautiful people. What's going on? Welcome back to the second episode of the day. I'm doing sort of like back to back three videos today. So, if you are actually looking forward to a fragrance review, you came to the right place. Yes, I'm going to be doing a lot of reviews today. So, the house today we're going to be looking at is House of Givenchy. Givenchy is a very underrated house. I think not many mentions, but I gave a lot of love to this house, especially Givenchy Gentleman line. It's one of my favorite. Geriash Rouge, a few other fragrances I did, review, try, own. So today we're going to be looking at the vintage version of Givenchy Play Intense. This fragrance bottle I recently bought off from one brother, almost full bottle, and I was lucky to find this. Actually, these are very hard to find. So when you actually do get sort of like a discontinued or vintage formulations always makes you happy, and the excitement stays when especially the fragrance actually is better and its original form. It's always better than the recent formulation, which I also have. I bought this about 2 years back. This is my first bottle, but this is a newer formulation. So this one was very good fragrance and with good lasting power. Let's see if the vintage is any better or still the same. So the backstory of this fragrance, I think this was released at first was the intense version was not released. They released Givenchy Play, which was official face for that fragrance was Justin Timberlake. They continued with him, and this fragrance actually is themed after music. So if you see the presentation, it has sort of like MP3 player, sort of like a theme, which I really like, and I really wanted this bottle because it's a little bit different. And 2008 they released it, and they only released in 100 ml bottle size, but perhaps I think I saw 30 or 50 ml, but they look very small. So I like the 100 ml bottles. So here you go. Here's the box. I don't have the box of the newer version, but this is the older version. They have forward, I think a rewind and forward, Play Intense here. But it's something interesting about the bottle. I'll show you. Red Play, very sporty, and red looks very eye-catching. Givenchy EDT, and this is 100 ml bottle. There's Givenchy written in red with the silver tones at the back. Okay, there you go. And here's the bottle. This is how that old style bottle used to look like. This is a bottle of 2011. So after 3 years, I think they still had the same bottle. So here is that base that I was talking about, and I'm putting it side by side with my first bottle. You'll see the differences. First of all, the base is different. Okay, this one has this nice little extra base where the bottle solely stands, like onto this. But the newer version, they made it flat, I guess. I think both look okay, but I think I prefer this one. And the information here is in this small little place, whereas the big one, I think they put it on the whole, lasered in the whole part. Another thing to notice is Play Intense for the older version, it had this buttons everywhere, and then it didn't say Intense. It said Intense in the new versions. Okay, and the Givenchy was written in the new version. Older version, Givenchy is not written here. It's rather written inside. Yes, I'll show you what I mean. When you open the cap, you see very big atomizer. These are rubber atomizers, kind of like Mugler, but dust spray. Okay, good distribution, but could be better. So here, Givenchy is written inside. Cap looks like that. Okay, plastic cap, but very nice cap. But with the new one, newer versions, the Givenchy is not written here anymore, like this one. It's written down here. So there are some differences there, but we'll talk about in terms of smell. That's the most important thing. So let's go see how this smells. Let's spray this. Let's go on spray. So this fragrance, basically what this is good for, this is special or known for, is that coffee note, and it's supposed to be a very sweet, fresh mandarin orange opening with that kind of like coffee, kind of like floral and a little bit chocolate gourmand sort of feel. Very sweet, very long lasting. This is supposed to be for nighttime. And the thing is, you'd imagine like what could be another fragrance that reminds you of this one. What is it similar to? If you never seen, if you actually seen reviews of Rojas Man or Rojas Man or Rochas Man, this one, Salvatore Ferragamo Vomo. Recently, one of my brothers yesterday commented. He said, "Is it similar to this one?" Because he gets similarity. Yes, definite similarity. But this one is more like a tiramisu, like a more stronger with the lavender. I think some of the notes, but this is more citrusy and fruity, chocolatey. So there are subtle differences, but they're coming kind of the same family. So when I smell it for the first time, this one smells like if you actually ever used X, the Dark Temptation. That fragrance people always love, the body spray. I have it somewhere in my room. That one gave you sort of like orangey chocolatey feel, and it's a very long lasting Axe fragrance. And then if you really wanted a niche version of that, Angelman, Amin by Thierry Mugler. But this other one I think is very much closer to that one, like Dark Temptation, but of course not the same quality. This is way better. So when I sniff it, I get that fresh orangey sort of like a chocolatey opening, and it's very fresh yet gourmand sweet chocolate like. Then on the dry down it starts going a little bit of coffee, and it's kind of like same smell till the fragrance ends. So now major question, is this fragrance similar to the newer version? Is it worth having both? If you can find the older version, I would say yes, hunt it down, because this fragrance smell wise, they are kind of similar, but this is a little bit richer. It's a little bit darker compared to the newer version. Newer version is a little bit more transparent and more fruity and citrusy. Over longevity, I got 2 hours more from the older version than the new version. So this fragrance is picking up pretty penny now. It's like fetching about $100 plus, $150 people are selling it for. If you find it somewhere at a discounted price or departmental store at a normal price, pick it up. So this fragrance will give you a push of about 8 hours to 10 hours on your clothes, easily 10 hours plus. Nighttime, going out, young people, young souls, teenagers who love this fragrance. It's similar also with Ultra Male, Eros, same family, CK Reveal. So it's a very nice sort of party, like a music, easy, like, spirited souls, like young souls. They have a lot of energy. This is very energetic, sweet, and very much still modern fragrance. So if you're into coffee fragrance, if you want to get into the game of coffee, this is a great fragrance. It's really, really good quality. And I think the bottle is very, very interesting. It's sort of like very iconic, sort of, we miss the MP3 players and all that. It's very nice fragrance. It can be a very romantic setup fragrance as well. You can wear it for your romantic date. Just do not show the bottle. Because if you wear this and you go for like a tuxedo sort of a dinner, and if she sees the bottle, be like, why are you being so childish? But the smell, if she doesn't see this, she'll find it very sexy. It's very, very sexy fragrance. Women love this kind of perfume. So overall, yes, the vintage definitely is a tad bit better, but even if you have this one, still pretty good performer. It pushes for easily 7 hours. So just the performance and opening is a little bit darker. That's basically the difference between these two. But if you ask me between these two, which one I choose, obviously the vintage. So overall, this fragrance, I'm giving it, I love it so much, it's a 10 for me. Okay, 10 out of 10. This is masterpiece from House of Givenchy. Check out Givenchy Play Intense. So now time to move on to the third and final video. Bye bye.